Greetings and welcome to Pickled Watermelon Rinds, a guilty pleasure podcast featuring Auntie Joan and Ontie, providing our zesty and marginally mature take on current events, pop culture, and trends. Now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Hi, Auntie Joni.
Hi, Auntie.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Oh, just fine, thanks.
You're welcome.
Happy anniversary!
Anniversary!
Here's to a long life and a happy one, a quick death and an easy one, a cold pint and another one. Slancha!
Yeah, there we go. My turn. May your glass be ever full. May the roof over your head be always strong. And may you be in heaven half an hour before the devil knows you're gone.
Slancha!
Gotcha.
Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody out there as well. It's not only our 1 year anniversary special, but it is also St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patty's Day.
So hope you all are having a good time and being safe, and don't drink the green beer. It's just gross.
Now, are you wearing green in honor of this?
I am not, because we are not actually recording this on St. Patrick's Day.
But you know what I noticed? I've got a little green shirt on underneath my sweatshirt.
There you go.
And I do have my underdrawers, which weren't green when I first put them on, but, accidents happen.
Mold.
No, it's... let's just say I skid into a stop.
So how you feeling about our 1 year anniversary?
I'm impressed with us that we've lasted a year. Yes, indeedy.
What do you
mean?
mean?
I'm proud of us. I'm proud of us.
Good.
Well, not everybody sticks with it a year.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
How about you? How do you feel about this?
Yeah, no, I think we're really starting to hit our stride a little bit, get this contest announcement out later in this episode. So that'll be fun. And we love our support from our listener, both overseas and domestic, when they travel. Give us some overseas. But no, we do appreciate everybody tuning in. Without you guys, we wouldn't be around. So we appreciate you. And please tell your friends and like us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And send us notes. We like to hear from you.
And a big love to our loyal listeners. Thank you for tuning in on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. We're both drinking some cocktails with Dingle Gin in honor of St. Patrick's Day. I'm drinking my Christmas cocktail, but I do adore it, with gin and Prosecco and cranberry juice and cranberry sauce and a little sprig of rosemary. So every time I take a sip, it smells like Christmas.
Oh, nice. And I've got my Dingle Gin with, don't tell me, elderflower tonic.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
It is delish.
That's the cocktail I had in the Dingle, Ireland, when I first got introduced to the Dingle Gin. Happy day.
And like the Girl Scouts, she got me hooked. Yeah.
That's right. So we're gearing up for season 2. The next episode will be the kickoff of season 2. And we've got some oldies and some newies that we're going to be introducing along the way. These are all just based on little puns on watermelon and vines and gardening and that wonderful stuff. So some nourishment. We're going to bring back Auntie Joan's fun facts on a rotating basis. All of this will be on a rotating basis. So I guess I should back up. We're not going to have dedicated what we are watching and commercials we have to talk about. They're still going to be in the rotation, but they're not going to be in every week segment. So each week we're going to probably bring in different types of segments, and we've got some new ones. Like I said, we're going to rotate some of the old ones and bring in some new ones. Bringing back Auntie Joan's fun facts. We'll have Animals on the Vine, where we talk about wildlife sightings, fun or not so fun things going on with Killian, Isis, and Oscar, and any other animals that are around us.
Yeah, you get your fair share of special visitors, that's for sure.
Indeed. Hopefully they continue. I had a coyote come through last night, as a matter of fact.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I shouldn't say last night. It was about 5:15 this morning, and we were going outside at 5:45, so It was gone.
Oh.
Then we have something we're going to call ripe topics. We're going to talk about anything our little hearts desire that's going on around us or in the world or whatever. And then we've got crop tending, which will be, again, a rotation of what we are watching, commercials we have to talk about, and a new segment that we're calling What We Are Scrolling. Auntie Joan and I spend a lot of time on Facebook and the Instagram. We've got some things we want to share with you guys and get other people's names out there that already are getting quite a few likes and shares and things like that. But regardless, they tickle us, so we're going to share them with you. Either tickle us or annoy us, whichever one, but mostly tickle us. We
Yeah,
usually
you
share
betcha.
those.
They can tickle me anywhere they want. At least a couple of them.
Then we'll have a segment called What's Cooking, which we kind of already do, but we're a little bit more formalized. Talk about, share some recipes of the kinds of foods we're having or restaurants we go out to or whatever. And then sunlight or shade. We're going to do some on location segments. We're going to take us to the road, see what things we might bring to you guys, whether that's before a movie starts. We sit there and provide our little commentary while we're sitting there, or we go out somewhere or go to a park, or Auntie Joan comes up to my neck of the woods, or I go down to her neck of the woods. We can do stuff on location. So that'll be new for season 2. And we'll be introducing probably other topics along the way. These are just some highlights that we're going to be rotating through. So slight change of format. We're still going to do our usual greeting and talk about just ourselves for the first little bit. And then we'll get into some more formalized topics on a rotating basis. So
Yeah, so you never know what you're going to get.
That's
So,
right. Keeping it fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh as a pickled watermelon.
So you might want to make sure you tune in every week so you don't miss something
That's
special.
right. I agree. So, Auntie Joan, you want to talk about some new tenants?
Oh, yes. I had a couple prospects come to my house this past week, checking out the bird nest on my front porch. So I'm probably going to have a sweet little family living there come this spring. I can't wait. So you be nice.
Fun.
It'd be nice if the hummingbirds came back and built a little nest on my bell. I've got a wind bell. So that's my excitement.
Well, fun. So, yes, happy anniversary to us.
Happy anniversary.
We're very excited. So this is the last show that we're just going to go right into what we are watching as a standard segment. So, Auntie Joan, what you watching?
Well, this just came on this past week. I think it just started. But of course, by the time this airs, it'll have been on for about a month. And it is Zero Day, starring Robert De Niro, who plays former President George Mullen. And this is like what happens when the United States, at least, has a cyber attack. There's this like 1 minute cyber attack that they called Zero Day. And it affected all the energy, telecommunication, and transportation networks, which caused a lot of chaos and disasters, and it ended up killing thousands. Also, everybody with smartphone or whatever got a message, got a text saying this will happen again. So it was definitely a domestic or otherwise terrorist attack. So after that happens, George Mullen's former aide shows up at his house and says that he has been asked by the president to go and give some talks to people who are working at the recovery zones, where there has been damage, and they've got first responders there trying to clean up and stuff. And he goes down there and he really I loved his speech that he gave to those people, because there was, all this back and forth conspiracy theorist stuff and then people against that. And what he says is, even if you believe in a conspiracy, how is it going to make you feel better? Is it going to make you feel better to think there was one? No, it's not. So get busy, do what we need to do to get through this, and then we'll look at what's happened. The president was so impressed by it that she made him the head of this new commission who was tasked with finding out just where this happened, who caused it, blah, blah, blah. Well, the first thought was the Russians, and then turns out it was probably a group of hackers, so they start looking into those. And then as the series progresses, Robert De Niro's character starts noticing these strange things happening. He'll keep hearing the song playing over and over again, and he keeps a diary of all his daily experiences, what's going on on. And he looks back and he's flipping through it and he sees one page where it's Who Killed Bambi? Who Killed Bambi? Who Killed Bambi? That was the song that he keeps hearing, and he has no memory of that. So he's dealing with that, wondering if maybe he's not losing his mind. There's also some threats of blackmail, some betrayal that comes into this. So it's a multi-layered thriller, espionage type thriller. And not only is Robert De Niro in it, there's also Jesse Plemons,
The newly skinny Jesse Plemons.
who's married to Kirsten Dunst, and he was also in Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
He was totally different character than he is in this. He was really good in Civil War, I thought, quite convincing. But so he plays George Mullins, Robert De Niro's character, body man. And I had never heard what a body man was, but basically it's personal assistant who travels almost everywhere with the president. It's a known position that people have. Joan Allen plays George Mullins' wife. And then we've got Lizzie Kaplan, who plays his daughter, who's also a congresswoman. And she becomes a ranking member of the Zero-Day Commission Oversight Committee, which her father, George, is the head of. Matthew Modine plays the Speaker of the House. And Dan Stevens, you know who he was? Did he look familiar to you?
No.
He plays Evan Green, who was a popular radical political commentator, kind of a conspiracy guy, talk show host, podcaster, who becomes the biggest critic of George Mullin and what he's doing. Dan Stevens, of course, this probably doesn't sound familiar to you, but he played, to those of us who watched Downton Abbey, he played Matthew Crawley on Downton Abbey, but he also played Charles Dickens in the movie you like, The Man Who Saved Christmas.
That was him?
That's what it says. So all in all, it's a pretty good thriller. I like Robert De Niro. I would say give it a watch. Check it out. What say you, Auntie?
I was excited for this to come out because I do really like Robert De Niro. I had some problems with the storyline. They never clarified what the whole Bambi thing was about.
Oh, I found the answer to that.
No, but I'm talking about during the show.
Yes.
They never closed that loop.
I think they did.
By how?
There was a scene where he found his son, and that song was playing in the background, supposedly.
But he was losing time. He didn't remember doing that, writing those things down. He didn't remember.
Right.
He was losing time, and they never closed that loop. Was it because... Go ahead.
They didn't.
Are you saying they did not?
They did not.
Okay.
They left that open. And I read an interview with him, the guy who wrote it, planned it. And his whole plan was that Proteus program, the mind program that they had developed as a weapon to cause disorientation and whatever to mess with the mind. Their thought was that would be the cause. But then in the interview with the guy that wrote it, he said after watching the series, he thinks, maybe that wasn't necessarily the cause. It could have been something else. So since they
That's not an answer.
Since they didn't resolve it, that's what I said. Since they didn't resolve it, they left that open as it could have been the Proteus, or maybe it was something else like dementia or whatever. Who knows? If there's a series 2, maybe they'll do it again, go beyond that. But I don't know. I don't think there's any talk yet of a season 2 on that.
Yeah. I love Lizzie Kaplan. I like a lot of the stuff she does. I did not like her character in this at all.
Oh no.
I thought very whiny, very trying to be a big girl, but really wasn't. And it was driving me nuts.
The way that ended, her character, the way they resolved that, I wasn't really happy with.
I mean, I did like when they were talking about, when they went down the Russia angle and then it took a turn and all that. And I thought that was poignant. I also found it interesting that they called this character Mullen, which is very close to Mueller, the Mueller report.
Oh.
I thought that was an interest. I just found that interesting. I was like, what are they calling him? And I'm like, that's an interesting name choice, in my opinion.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I don't know. I wanted to love it. I did find myself getting a little distracted. I don't know why there was even a point, other than the blackmail angle, why that chick from Friday Night Lights, that whole thing, she should have just been a character and forget that other part of it, and because that really had no bearing on the story.
Oh, that was, what's her name that came back?
Yeah, his chief of staff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
All right. Okay, I'll give you that. Some of this stuff was kind of hokey.
You
And
know?
there was some other show that we talked about where I said, this sounds more and more like it was created by AI. And I'm almost now that we're talking about it, I'm almost starting to wonder if maybe some of this wasn't dredged up by AI too, like bringing that
Yeah.
woman and
The story
yeah.
fell flat for me. Like I said, I was super excited. I was really looking forward to it. I didn't know it was going to be a miniseries. I thought it was going to be a movie. I was very surprised when it started and it was like, episode what? I'm like, episode? What's happening? And then I looked up, I'm like, oh. I mean, I watched it all in one day. I watched it from start to finish in one shot, but it was still like, oh, I thought this was going to be a couple-hour movie. I didn't realize. And I honestly think it probably could have been a couple-hour movie instead of dragging it out into the 5 episodes or 4 or 5 episodes, whatever the hell it was. 6? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was good to see Robert De Niro, as always. I did like that speech that you were referring to.
Yeah,
I did like that. I don't know. I'm kind of ambivalent about it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It just was, in my opinion.
I really loved him in this. He just makes it so clear why he is so well thought of as an actor. He made everything seem so natural.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just quite good.
I also found a little far-fetched of Jesse Plemons' character having all his thumbs in all these different pies all over the place, and I'm just like, this seems, come on, you were an aide, man. Like, you weren't like some big shot, big wheeling dealing dude. You were an aide. Come on, you did not interface. No, I didn't buy that. But I was like, okay, we're along for a ride now.
From what I read about that position, that body man, it's like they're connected at the hip.
Mm-hmm.
So they're with them all the time.
Right. So where did he have time to do all these extracurricular activities?
After hours. But the thing of it is he had his connections. He had contact with everybody that the president had contact with. So I'm sure people would come to him and ask for favors and things like that. So,
and he just happened to be sleeping with the president's wife. I mean, daughter. I didn't like those two together at all.
No. Actually, I kind of find it hard to believe him with anybody, but I'm not a fan of redheads. Oh, I'm so sorry to say this on St. Patty's Day, but yeah.
So yeah, like I said, it was not good or bad for me. It just was. I'm glad I watched it. Like I said, I was really looking forward to it. Just kind of fell a little flat for me.
Yeah, maybe we need to find something to do besides. Maybe we need to find different hobbies.
What do you mean?
The time I spend in front of the TV, I could be making quilts for people who don't want anything anymore.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, well. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Now we're on to the part of our program where we discuss commercials we have to talk about. And again, last time for this reoccurring segment on a weekly basis. This time we're going to talk about Dunkaccino. This is a Dunkin' Donuts commercial featuring not Al Pacino, folks. He changed his name to Dunkaccino.
Oh my
It's
God.
not Al anymore. It's Dunk is exactly what he says in the commercial.
Oh.
And he sings and he dances and it is everything I want. It is so ridiculously stupid. I love it.
Oh my God.
He looks good. I have to say that. He looks
Yeah.
really good in the commercial. I've seen this on the Instagram. I have not seen this on the regular TVs, but oh my God. And at the very end, it cuts mid-sentence and it's Adam Sandler, who I adore, as the producer. And he's like, it's 32 seconds, so we got to cut out a couple of seconds. But other than that, I think we got it. And Al just looks at him and is like, burn this.
Yeah. I don't blame him.
This must never be seen
It should
by anyone.
That's right.
Absolutely hysterical. It's silly. It's fun. Two guys I just adore to the hilt. I love Al Pacino. I love Adam Sandler. And by the way, we're having a little Godfather II fest because we just talked about a Robert De Niro movie and who played Vito Corleone, and of course Al Pacino's portrayal of Michael Corleone in all of them. And so it seems to be a little Godfather fest we got going on today for our anniversary special. What'd you think of the commercial, Auntie Joan?
Well, thank you for sharing. I had not seen or heard anything of this. And when I saw it, I thought, OMG. Is Al Pacino that badly in debt that he needs to do this? I mean, I was shocked for him.
I just think he wanted to have fun. And it was very, and I bet you Adam Sandler had a lot to do with getting him.
Well, he must, yeah.
And they just did something totally the opposite of quintessential Al Pacino. And I mean, because he had some silly things in like Scent of a Woman and stuff like that, but he was never really done pure comedy. Not that I can think of off the top of my head, at least. So I thought this was just such a branch out from what he usually does that I just loved it.
Yeah, well, I am reminded of Christopher Walken when he did his dance in Slim, what's his name? Yeah, anyway, he did a dance routine to Fat Boy Slim. Yeah, a video. And I mean, Christopher Walken is a known song and dance man. That's his training, I guess, was dancing. So, yeah, he still kind of looked like an old man. And Al Pacino, I mean, come on, guy. I felt bad for him.
You took it too seriously. It's just silly fun.
Well, yeah, I'm not a slapstick, goofy, I guess, so much. But.
Okay, more cowbell. Come on now.
Well, that's worthy. That's class. A lot of thinking went into that.
Very cerebral.
Yeah, I guess maybe Al Pacino does have a sense of humor. I just never pictured him. I just keep thinking of him back in The Godfather as Michael Corleone. And was he the taxi driver too?
No,
you
that was
talking
De Niro.
to me? Oh, okay. Sure?
Positive.
Okay. I always would get those two mixed up.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, they look nothing like each other, but yeah.
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 So yeah, more Adam Sandler. All in on that. I was very thrilled to see him too. I dig him a lot. He needs to do some more. From what I understand, folks, and I have not done research on this, but I've seen little blurbs about it. There is a second Happy Gilmore in the works. It'd be very interesting to see how that all plays out because they're a lot older now. I feel like backs would be thrown out quite a bit in trying to recreate that. I don't usually pay attention to the commercials that come across Instagram, but they've had quite a few lately so we did share last week or the week before. And this is all Instagram. These weren't TV ones. And I have another one in the hopper for another time that is also from the Instagram. So it's like, I don't know, but they're really freaking funny.
Well, if you had not told me about it, I wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely worth a watch. I will say that.
Indeed. We'll have a link out there for y'all to take a look at it, but it's take it for what it is. It's just silly. It's just, don't overthink it. It's just silly.
That it is.
Well, Auntie Joan, our PWR's 50 contest came to an end, and well, doesn't seem like putting videos together was our listeners' cup of tea. So unfortunately, we didn't get any submissions, but we're not sad. That just means that our one-of-a-kind, highly coveted pickled watermelon rinds tumbler is still up for grabs, and we'll come up with something down the road to entice our listener to actually participate at an opportunity to own that tumbler.
All that work we went through.
It happens. People are shy on videos. I don't know. Maybe we didn't make it clear that you could have been very creative with this and not showing your actual faces. You could have done something very different, whether it's with your own animals or if you're computer savvy, you could have put together avatar kind of things or use different family members. You could have wore costumes so we didn't know who you were. Could have done a lot of different things. But I thought in this video world, this would have been an eye grabber for folks, but unfortunately we didn't get any submissions. So no winners to be announced.
No losers either, huh?
So we don't have a video to share, unfortunately, of the winning video, but that's okay. Like, we'll put our little thinking caps on and see if we can come up with something in the future that will inspire our listener to partake and hopefully win the coveted limited edition pickled watermelon rinds tumbler created by the one, the only Auntie Joan.
Yeah.
We'll see how we go
Oh,
in the
well,
future.
you snooze, you lose.
We're just going to keep trying, folks, but we do appreciate you listening. So thank you for listening.
And we'll be here just for you. Until next time.
All right, Auntie Joan, anything else for our listener today?
Well, just happy anniversary to us and happy St. Patty's Day if you're listening when this comes out.
Thank you for everybody for a year of fun, and we're going to continue on for another. So stick with us. Lots of new fun
Please.
stuff coming down the pike.
Yes,
so.
yes, it'll be fun.
Indeed. So that wraps it for yet another wonderful Pickled Watermelon Rinds episode. This is Auntie signing off.
And Auntie Joan saying bye-bye now.
We thank you for listening. And remember, when life eats away at your core, make pickled watermelon rinds.